Welcome to the NarcDojo Podcast, where each episode is a treasure trove of insights, tools, and stories to help you break free from the shackles of narcissistic abuse and step into a life of strength and joy. Shika is the name. Welcome to the channel and welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. In today's video, we're going to be talking about envy. So understand that when you are dealing with a pathological narcissist, you really are dealing with someone that envies you. They truly, deep down, do not like you. And envious people want what you have. And it is important to understand that an envious person is an enemy in disguise, because you really are dealing with wolves in sheep's clothing. So let's go ahead and start this episode off with a quick definition of envy. Now, envy is an emotion that arises when someone lacks another's personal qualities, achievements, or possessions and either desires to have them or wishes that the other person lacked them. It involves a complex interplay of emotions, including resentment, covetousness, and oftentimes inferiority. Now, here are 4 key aspects of envy. Number 1, comparison. Envy often stems from comparing oneself to others. This can happen in various aspects of life, such as career success, personal achievements, relationships, or material possessions. Envy, you see, is often linked closely to what you may see referred to as social comparison theory. And this is where individuals determine their social and personal worth based on how they stack up against others. If the comparison is perceived as unfavorable, then envy may arise. Number 2, desire and frustration. Envy involves a strong desire to possess what another has. When this desire is thwarted, it can lead to frustration and negative emotions. Number 3, envy is oftentimes a destructive emotion. Envy is generally considered a destructive emotion because it often leads to negative thoughts and actions. It can strain relationships, breed resentment, and create a toxic atmosphere. Number 4, impact on well-being. Experiencing envy can negatively affect an individual's mental and emotional well-being. It oftentimes leads to stress, anxiety, and a constant feeling of inadequacy. Understanding and managing envy is essential for personal growth and maintaining healthy relationships. It involves cultivating a mindset of gratitude, focusing on one's own strengths and achievements, and developing empathy for others. So understand that when you are dealing with pathological narcissist, you're dealing with someone that envies you. And envy is a very possessive emotion. Envy, when someone is filled with envy, then they want to possess the other person. And it also makes them obsessed. So it has a lot of possession energy and obsession energy. It is important to understand that if someone envies you, they do not like you. And oftentimes, envy is a very confusing emotion, and this is because it is irrational by default. It is illogical by default. When you take a look at the Hawkins scale by Dr. David R. Hawkins, what we're looking at is a map of consciousness. So as spiritual beings, we are here to expand. We're here to get to enlightenment. We're here to self-actualize. We want our crown chakras activated. We want our third eye open. So we are here to grow. However, when you're dealing with an envious person, someone that has a lot of deep-seated envy, you'll see where these negative emotions are really at the bottom of the Hawkins scale, this emotional consciousness chart. And understand that you must transcend the lower emotions, the lower levels of consciousness to get to a higher plane. Now, someone that has not overcome envy cannot reach to love and peace because you're stuck at the lower levels. And when you're dealing with a pathological narcissist and you're dealing with someone that is rooted in their shame and they're unable to move past their pride. So envy, being a negative emotion, is somewhere down there between shame and pride, because again, pathological narcissists are people that are stuck in the third dimension. They did not develop past their lower ego. They're stuck in a state of suffering. They're stuck in a state of competitive thinking. They're stuck in a state of wrong thinking, and this is why they're envious of others. So you really are dealing with someone that is not managing their emotions in an adequate way. They really are emotionally immature at their core. And this really does explain their irrational behavior, because you would really have to get to the level of rational thinking, and that is in the fourth dimension or higher to overcome envy. And again, pathological narcissists are people that are stuck in the third dimension. Next, let's get into some common ways that you'll see envy manifest. And we'll do this from the thought realm. So we'll get into the minds of the envious person. And then we will see how this manifests itself in the physical realm through their actions. So when it comes to envy and thoughts in the mind, number one, again, is comparison. So constantly comparing oneself to others in terms of achievements, possessions, or relationships. This is how the envious person thinks. They are in a competition with you. Anybody that is envious of you is in a competition with you. They are sizing you up in terms of the achievements that you have, in terms of the relationships that you have, and so on. Number two is resentment. And resentment is feeling bitter or resentful towards individuals who possess what is desired. And when I talk about envy, I like to use the quote by healer, author, and shaman Malidoma Patrice Somé, where he states that if you encounter a betrayer, and envious people will eventually betray you. So if you encounter a betrayer, then this person wants you to return blessing. So the envious person, the betrayer, sees that you have something that they do not have. And eventually they will point this out through sabotage, etc. So if you are a very confident person, then they're going to try to wipe that smile off your face. If, for example, you have a nice car and they don't, sometimes they will try to go get a similar car, or they will sabotage your vehicle. This is an envious person. So let's go ahead and hear what Malidoma Patrice Somé, healer, author, and shaman, has to say about betrayal.
Betrayal is always looked at from two directions. The betrayer is the person who has seen in the betrayed something that looks like a blessing. The betrayed is the person who is being asked to return blessing, to share blessing. It is unbearable for two people, one blessed and another unblessed, to live in the same geography. And so, once you are blessed, the soul of the person who is not blessed sees you as his potential savior. And it is the only thing that by birthright we are entitled to, which is the reason why the betrayer will do his job to awake you. The betrayer is not necessarily to be seen as an evildoer. He's deliberately trying to reach out. He's deliberately trying to articulate what is missing in him. And so a person who is betrayed must, more often than not, take that as a blessing. Why? Because it tells you that you are blessed in some ways that the other who is betraying you is not.
Number 3, inferiority. Inferiority essentially is a sense of feeling lesser or inadequate compared to others. So oftentimes on the channel, you'll hear me state that pathological narcissists are people that are rooted in their shame and they're unable to move past their pride. So understand that when we're talking about the shame here, we're talking about pathologically low self-esteem, because shame is an emotion that is directed at the self. So shame tells the self that I am unworthy. I don't deserve. I am unworthy of love. I am less than. So understand that when you're dealing with a pathological narcissist, you're dealing with someone with a very severe inferiority complex. And the mask that they wear is a mask of grandiosity. And it is there to hide their deep-seated inferiority. So at their core, they do believe that they are inadequate. And this is why they try to sabotage your efforts. Number 4, self-pity. And self-pity is dwelling on one's perceived lack or misfortune compared to others. And pathological narcissists like to have a pity party. They are professional victims. And they play off this victim identity so that they can get attention and validation from others. It is so that you pour into them, because they themselves cannot pour into themselves, because again, they really lack a true self. They really are going around parading their false self as if it is their true self. Number 5, when it comes to thoughts in the minds of these envious individuals, then you have coveting. And coveting is a strong desire to possess what others have, whether it is a skill, a relationship, or material possession. So understand that narcissists want your stuff, whether it is in the non-physical or the physical. They want your stuff. They want your confidence. They want your smile. They envy the attention that you get from others. They hate your style. They hate the way you wear your hair. They hate your clothing. So they really want to possess this. They really are your fans and they want to be like you. They covet you. They want to possess what you have. And number 6, when we're talking about thoughts and how the mind of an envious person works, is negative rumination. And this is replaying thoughts about the other's success or advantages leading to negative emotions. So I want to make it abundantly clear to you that by the time the narcissist or this other toxic individual betrays you, they have been thinking, they have been stewing about how to betray you. They have been ruminating. They have been thinking about these thoughts over and over and over in their mind, long before they acted on the thought. Because when they met you, they sized you up. They sized you up on day 0. So understand that envy is a very covert emotion. The person that is envious of you, and this could be an intimate partner, this could be a parental figure, this could be a co-worker, this could be a friend. Again, that is a wolf in sheep's clothing. They will try to get close to you and pretend to be your friend and pretend to be a lover. And they're pretending to be lovers because they really are haters deep down. They do not like you. However, they have to get close to you to study you. like a serpent hunting a rat before they pounce and bite. So understand that envy is a covert operation, and the envious person is going to get very close to you. Kind of like that lady that set up Selena. All right, she pretended to be kind, and she got to her in the form of being her road manager. But she didn't like Selena, but she had to get close to Selena to bring her down. So understand that this is how envious people operate. So it is important that you raise your awareness. It is important that you raise your discernment skills, your emotional intellect, your emotional maturity, so that you are able to detect envy in individuals. Because again, an envious person is a wolf in sheep's clothing, and they're going to come very close to you because they are studying you and they want to figure out the best way to bring you down. Now that we have the thoughts covered, the mind realm covered, let's go ahead and talk about how envy may manifest itself in the physical realm through someone's actions. Number 1, sabotage. And this is actively working against or undermining the success or well-being of the envied person. So oftentimes, for example, if you're in an intimate relationship with a pathological narcissist, you're in an intimate relationship with a hater, again, a bad mind person. That is really who pathological narcissists are. They're haters. They use their minds with ill intention. You will see where they won't compliment you truly when you are successful. Because again, secretly, deep down, they are in competition with you. And they really want to sabotage your efforts. For example, let's say you have a big job interview coming up. They will make sure that before that job interview, you don't get any sleep. So they will use the sleep deprivation abuse tactic so that you're tired before you go to that job interview. Or they will start an argument right before you go out for that interview to bring your energies down. So you're dealing with people that will sabotage you. And when it comes to the physical aspect of this, they will sabotage your assets. They will damage your car. They will scratch your car. They will crash your car. They will puncture your tires, etc. So understand that these people will sabotage you because, again, they do not like you and they really want to bring you down. Now, number 2 is gossip. And this is where the smear campaign, etc. comes in. So this is talking negatively about the person who is envied, spreading rumors, again, smearing your name, or trying to tarnish your reputation. And this is simply, again, because pathological narcissists do not like you. So they're going to go out and spread rumors so that other people also team up with them in going against you, because you really are dealing with weak individuals. You're dealing with cowards, and pathological narcissists are cowards. Envious people are cowards. Haters are cowards because they are unable to reach the 4th dimension. The 4th dimension starts at courage. And understand that pathological narcissists exist below the line of courage. Again, they cannot move past their pride. They're based in shame, again, based in low self-esteem, but they're unable to move past their pride. And this is being filled with pride. Again, this is their false sense of grandiosity. So because they are cowards, they will need to team up with other people and gang stalk you and gang up on you to bully you, because they need the help of other individuals to bring you down. And this is why they will try to tarnish your reputation. Number 3 is competitiveness, which is engaging in a competitive mindset where success is seen as a zero-sum game. So somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. So one person's success is perceived as a direct threat to another's success. So understand that if you're dealing with a hater, if you're dealing with someone that is a betrayer, they are in a secret competition with you. And this is from day 0. So let's say you were in a relationship for 5 years. Friendship, relationship, intimate relationship. They didn't start really competing with you halfway in. They really had the intention on day 0. They didn't like you from the jump, but again, they have to get close to you, to study you, to figure out how to bring you down. Narcissists are always competing with you for attention. Competing with you, you'll see where they start to dress like you, etc. They're always competing with you because they do see you as competition. They are intimidated by you. However, they do try to hide this because, again, they have a deep-seated inferiority complex that they hide with grandiosity. Number 4, isolation. And this is withdrawing from individuals who are perceived as more successful, possibly out of a fear of continued comparison. So a good example of this is people that don't like you, people that are envious of you. For example, let's say there is a family event. You won't be invited to that family event. See? So they're going to isolate you. They're not going to invite you to the party because they know that when you come, you will shine. And I'm not saying that you are trying to shine, but this is just who you are. So oftentimes you'll see me use the star analogy here on the channel. So understand that your luminosity is a bright star. So let's say your luminosity is at 90 or 95%. When it comes to envious people, when it comes to these haters, they're very dim, right? Their luminosity is like at 10%. It is like when your phone goes on low power mode. Again, very dim. So you're like a bright star. And similarly, they are a star. They are a black hole. Black holes are collapsed star. And this is why they must drain the light from you. They do not have any light to give you. Again, you're at 90 and 95 and they're only at 10%. They can't get up to your level. So they will want to bring you down to their level. Number 5, materialism. And this is an overemphasis on acquiring possessions or achievements as a way to compensate for perceived deficiencies. So you will see where oftentimes these people will try to get, cars and houses and clothing and so on to pretend like they are better than they actually are. And all of these material things really is a mask. It is to hide their deep-seated inferiority. So you'll see where a lot of narcissists, a lot of pathological narcissists, these sociopathic individuals are very materialistic. They're very money hungry because when someone truly does not have any self-esteem, they have to get this esteem from other places. So we call this other esteem. And this other esteem can come through materialism. So it is the cars that they have. It is the clothes that they wear. It is their job, etc. But they themselves have very low self-esteem. Self-esteem so low that they would probably have to look up to see it. It is little to non-existent. So they use materialism to mask that. Number 6, self-doubt. Now, allowing envy to erode one's self-confidence and belief in one's abilities is self-doubt. So understand that, again, these people are deeply insecure. And this insecurity has been with them since their childhood years because, again, they really are not self-reflecting and working on themselves. So when they're dealing with someone that doubts themselves, then they are stuck in a state of fear. And oftentimes you will see where because they're stuck in this state of fear, the next emotion, the next best feeling emotion that they can reach for is anger. So they will lash out at you. And if it is not anger, then it is pride. Again, they're very prideful individuals. Number 7 is passive aggression. And this is expressing hostility or frustration indirectly. often through subtle or passive-aggressive behaviors. So understand that pathological narcissists are very passive-aggressive. Again, you're dealing with people that are stuck in a state of cowardice. They are unable to reach the fourth dimension. They are unable to access courage. Again, they're stuck at the lower levels. We're talking about a type of arrested development here. So instead of confronting you directly, you will see where they will behave passive-aggressively. So they will sulk like Eeyore. They will frown. They will be indirect with their language. They will say, hey, you know that so-and-so said this about you? But it is actually them that is saying those nasty things about you. So look out for passive-aggressive behavior, because people that oftentimes communicate in this particular way are cowards. And cowards are stuck in a state of fear. And again, the next best feeling emotion after fear is anger. So oftentimes you'll see where they throw tantrums like toddlers, and this is what you call a narcissistic rage. And if they don't throw a rage fit, you will detect the deep-seated rage and anger beneath the veil. Number 8 is mimicry. And this is attempting to imitate or copy aspects of the envied person's life, sometimes to the point of losing one's authentic self. You hear me say often on this channel that pathological narcissists are mimickers. They are chameleons. They are mimicking you because, again, you're dealing with someone that does not have a true personality. They do not have a true identity of their own. You really are dealing with the Anna Delveys of the world. They are a total fake. They don't have an underlying personality, and this is why they must mimic you. They will mimic how you dress. They will mimic how you speak. Oftentimes, you will hear them saying things that you have said before, but they try to pass this off as if they said it themselves. They will also mimic people on TV and people in books that they read as if it is their own. And they are unable to put their own spin on this because, again, they do not have a true personality. And oftentimes you'll hear that imitation is a form of flattery, but not in this case. These people do want to wear you. If they could jump into your skin and be you, that is what they would like to have. So it is important that you keep firm boundaries when you're dealing with envious people, because, again, deep down, these individuals truly do not like you. Narcissists are haters. Simply put, they are haters. Narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder, that which you may commonly refer to as sociopathy and psychopathy, is the study of haters. It is the study of hateration. You know exactly who narcissists are. They are antagonists. They are the villains in any movie that you watch. They want to bring you down. Wile E. Coyote sets traps for Roadrunner. He's all about sabotage. And this is what these individuals are doing. They are trying to set you up. And they have to get very close to you to figure out the best way to bring you down. Narcissists are haters. They are saboteurs. They want to sabotage you. They like to antagonize because they are antagonists. So, are there healthy ways to cope with envy? Sure. Healthy ways to cope with envy include self-reflection, gratitude, practicing gratitude, and focusing on personal growth rather than constant comparison with others. However, when you're dealing with pathological narcissists, you're dealing with someone that is not self-reflecting. They do not have a self. They abandon their true selves in childhood for a false self. And you need a self to self-reflect. They do not have a self. They have an ego. And the ego is a mind-made construct. So the ego projects. It is not self-reflecting. They do not have a self. So what they do is they project their deep-seated negativity onto you. And this is like Gollum in The Lord of the Rings, where he states that nobody likes you. You don't have any friends. But he's really talking about himself, because Gollum was Smeagol, and after he accepted the ring, he essentially devolved and became a demonic monster, a belly-crawling beast. So Gollum knows deep down that nobody really likes him. He doesn't have any friends, but he projects that off onto other individuals. So pathological narcissists are not self-reflecting. So they're not going to let go of their envy. They're going to project this envy onto you. And you're going to see this as sabotage. You're going to see this as gossip, like the smear campaign. You're going to see this as their competitiveness, because they are competing with you. You will see where they try to isolate you. They won't invite you to events, or again, they will try to isolate you from your friends. You will see this in their materialism. You will see this, that they truly deep down doubt themselves. They have a deep-seated inferiority complex. You will see this in their passive aggression people. And you'll also see this where they mimic you. Pathological narcissists are not people that are practicing gratitude. They practice ungratefulness, you see. And this is why this manifests itself in their behavior. You can tell when someone does not practice gratitude. They are ungrateful at their core. They practice unforgiveness. So understand that what you will find between shame and pride are all negative emotions. So it is a common misconception that narcissists do not have emotions. They do have emotions. They have a vast variety of negative emotions. And they're all down there between shame and pride. Choose any negative emotion that you want. They're all down there at the lower end of the scale. Because again, you have to transcend the lower emotions to get to a higher state of vibration. You have to let go of shame to get to guilt. You have to let go of guilt to get to fear. You have to let go of fear to get to anger. You have to let go of anger to get to pride. But when it comes to pathological narcissists, they won't let go of their pride. So pride cometh before the fall, and they fall right back down to shame. So they have been in this shame-pride cycle long before you came into the picture. Again, we're talking about psycho-spiritual arrested development. So you're dealing with someone that is not evolving. So because they're not evolving, then they are devolving. Since they are not progressing, then they are regressing. And this is why pathological narcissism, narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, that which you may commonly call sociopathy or psychopathy, is regressive. Because again, these individuals abandoned their true selves for an ego. So the longer they are walking around on this planet, the more they identify with their ego, the more they identify with the false self. So they are regressing. And you'll see where it gets worse with age. Again, think about the narcissistic parent in your life, or the narcissistic intimate partner. Let's say you're in a relationship for 5 years. You will see where that relationship went downhill. Because they are regressing. They're not progressing. They're not evolving. They are devolving. Because they're not growing. They're done growing. Again, they're filled with pride. Perfect people don't need to change. They're done growing. So understand that you're dealing with Peter Pans or Patricia Pans. At their core, you will see where these people have the emotional capacity, the emotional awareness level of an average third grader. So they behave somewhere between the average ages of about 5 and 12 years old. But if we were to give that an average, then it is about 7 or 8 years old. So you could be dealing with a pathological narcissist that is in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, elder narcissists in their 60s, 70s, 80s, etc. But again, at their core, behind the physical veil, you'll see where they kind of behave, again, roughly, right around that 7 or 8-year-old range. If we were to give it an average again, that is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with someone that is not growing. They're done growing. They're perfect. So understand that you're dealing with unripened fruits. And you get unripened fruits from plants where that plant did not get enough nurturing. All right? It did not get enough nutrients in the soil. It did not get enough water, enough sunlight, etc. So the fruit developed to the fullest state, but it developed unripened. And people, if you've ever bitten into an unripened fruit, you know that it is not a pleasant experience. Unripened fruits are like those horrible grainy apples that you find at the supermarket. They taste like cardboard. Not a very nice experience. So unripened fruits are missing some elements, and you can't put unripened fruits back on the tree because they're done growing. They grew incorrectly, which is why they're unripened. And this is essentially what you're dealing with when you're dealing with an envious person. This is what you're dealing with when you're dealing with a betrayer. This is what you're dealing with when you're dealing with a pathological narcissist. Someone that did not evolve correctly. And they are actually de-evolving. Again, they get worse with time. So it is important that you maintain firm boundaries when you're dealing with these individuals. So go full no contact or as low contact as you can, because again, this is who they are. They are based in shame and they can't move past their pride. They have arrested development. They are unripened fruit. You can't put them back on the tree. They're done growing. And these individuals stopped evolving somewhere about 5 to 12 years old, even though they may be 50 or 60 or 70. All right, good people, that is where we are stopping off here in today's episode. But truly understand that an envious person is a wolf in sheep's clothing. They want to bring you down. So they have to get close to you, to study you, to figure out the best way to sabotage you. So understand that Wile E. Coyote sets traps because he is a villain. He is an antagonist. He antagonizes. That is their role. And it is important that you learn how to discern spirits, because people are not their bodies. We are spirit governing a human body with access to tools, namely our mind power, our willpower, and our emotions. So you should be discerning the spirit of the individual that is in front of you. Are they a benevolent spirit? Do they fall at the top of the Hawkins scale? Are they working on themselves? Or are they stuck at the bottom? Are they low vibrational people? Are they a malevolent spirit? Does this spirit want to do me harm? Is this spirit smiling with me, but do they actually have a butcher's knife behind their back? So it is important that you learn how to discern spirit. So understand that pathological narcissists and abusers, etc., are not going to come up to you and say, "Hi, I am an abuser. Do you want to get into a relationship with me?" Because they know you're going to say no. So they must deceive. They must love bomb their way in. Love bombing is deception, because pathological narcissists do not have love to give. They've never had love to give. They do not know what love is. They're based in shame and they cannot move past their pride. They exist below the line of 200 on the Hawkins scale. Love is all the way up there in the 500s at a level that they cannot reach. So understand that you cannot love a pathological narcissist and they cannot love you. All of your love and kindness and compassion is going to evaporate right there at the third dimension. It is going to evaporate right there at the line of pride, because these individuals do not see you as their equals. They see you as their competition and they must bring you down. Understand that a betrayer, this envious person, will want you to return blessing. They believe that you have something that they want. They covet you. They despise you. They hate you because they are haters. And kind people, that is where we are stopping off in today's episode. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Ensure that you are liking these videos. Ensure that you are subscribed to the channel for more empowering content. If you have any questions or feedback, go ahead and leave that in the comment section. Ensure that you go ahead and check out the NARC101 course. 3 hours of great information to help you to transcend narcissistic abuse. Again, all of the links for that are on the page. Go ahead and take the NARC101 course. It helps you to go from A to Z on how to heal and break free from the shackles of narcissistic abuse and step into a life of strength and joy. If you need someone to talk to, I do offer coaching sessions. Again, go ahead and check the links on the page. Narcissistic abuse can be overcome, but again, you need the accurate information and you need to take action on that information. Thank you so much, kind people. Continue to pour all of your love and kindness and compassion back into yourself to revive your energy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.